listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. You stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You can double, you can press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Prevented you guys from getting going offensively.
Yeah, I mean, we had 4 layups, we missed them. 4 layups at the rim, either you miss them or you make them, and so I think we had good looks there, at least in the third quarter. They picked up their aggression. They got to the free throw line a little bit more. They dictated play a little bit more there. But in general, you got to score more than 31 points in a half, to get a win. So I like where our defense is at, though. I think the defense has given us a shot. We said that's where we're going to hang our hat the rest of the year. And now we got to find some more offense.
I was going to get to defense. Just what did you think? Another really good performance coming. I mean, OKC was the same thing, coming off another one. But
yeah.
Just where do you think that you guys have taken the biggest jump defensively?
Yeah, I think physicality overall, just our aggression there in the half court. Nothing is easy, as before. The layups, the dunks. Obviously, the board could have been better tonight.
We're watching the same game
in general, but I think the effort there defensively is there. The effort, the physicality. Now we got to finish it with the board, but good effort again.
What else?
I was going to ask about rebounding next. So, what do you think just was the difference there? Not a typical night, minus 25, especially kind of on both ends. Maybe zone a little bit on one end.
Yeah, the zone. They're small.
What do you think on the offensive boards too?
Yeah, I mean, we were switching a lot, and I think we were keeping them to one shot in general. But when Diabate gets in there, and we're a little bit smaller, on the board at times. But I thought we were disruptive defensively up front. We're switching a lot of their stuff, taking them out of their patterns, but then you got to finish it with the board, and obviously we didn't get that done at the level we needed to. Good, thanks.
All right, shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna have to create a new name, a title for James Borrego, man. It's whether it's I don't know, man. This guy sometimes is delusional, man. In the end, man, the Pelicans were up by 22 in this game. I know they got an early start due to the fact that they had to obviously, get in this game because the snow. So they had to start a little earlier than we anticipated them starting. But in the end, regardless of what time you play, whether you play at 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, wherever you play, effort has to be there. And far too often I'm watching the Pelicans fail at this effort. And it's very distasteful. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream for all things Pelicans. We up in this thing, man. Big Q, y'all hit the like button and the sub button and the share button, man. Recapping this thing, man. Disastrous outing for the Pelicans. Had an opportunity to get a win over a hot team. They had this team by 22 points and then foregoed it. Went into the second half and scored 31 points, 18 in the third, 13 in the fourth. And just ridiculous. In the end, the bottom line is, regardless or not, the team it continues to just not do what it's supposed to do. So that's the main thing, man. I don't know, man, what to say. I guess Borrego trying to keep it positive, but ain't nothing positive about this. Being up by 22, and they talk about missing 4 shots. Based on what I've seen, They just got manhandled in this game, man. Especially on the back end. The defense went up for Charlotte and they stopped them. The Pelicans' free flowing offense is an enigma to me. We talked about this on a previous stream. What kind of offense do these people actually use where they don't play through their best players? Not consistently. Like everybody gets a touch of the ball. Um, Players that are third options, fourth options, even fifth options are taking shots over the first options. Where's the priority in the offense? Defensively speaking, the Pelicans have done just about enough insofar as that in this particular game. Where was the offense? That's Borrego's sticking point. Why only 31 points in the entire second half? You know, this is literally a half-ass game by the Pelicans, a half-ass game. And this is stuff that we continually see from this team, regardless of who's coaching it. The last two guys have been coaching it. They can't consistently teach anything of word for these players to follow. I mean, it has been a lot of games. We've played, well over 50 games now? I think it's I don't know, man, 52 games? And Borrego's been at the helm for at least 30 of them or something like that. And we still can't teach, offensive or have a coherent offensive system where we play behind the top priority players. I just don't get it, man. But anyway, this is, my keys on why I thought the Pelicans lost this game to the Hornets. The rebounding collapse was ridiculous. It was just horrible. And we'll go over that. The fourth quarter scoring drought, which was, that was awful. How do you have a catastrophic slump like they had in the final frames? 13 points, failing to make field goals for the first 6 minutes of the quarter. The ineffective paint defense, allowing 12 paint points in the second half. Hornets defense just messing over the Pelicans' primary weapons. They shot 26% in the paint during the final 24 minutes of the game. Failure to close out on LaMelo. This guy bumped heads with his coaches and still came in there and finished with 24 points on the Pelicans, punishing the win defensive and the stupid switches. I keep talking about we shouldn't be switching. They can't compare. These people can't leave well enough alone. The defensive switches ought to be smart enough, intelligent enough to know when to switch and not to switch. This is the thing when they talk about the switch all. The team is not getting it, or the people that's trying to teach the switch all philosophy is not working. You don't switch all on everything. That's what I was saying for years now. With Willie Green talking about the switch all, they're not getting it. They're not getting the switch all. You do not switch into mismatches. You only switch when it benefits you. They don't have it collectively, IQ wise, of when to switch and when not to switch. And that's why I say just do away with it and just guard your yard. Just go man to man, run over screens, whatever you got to do. Then the free throw consistency. The Pelicans needed to hit some more free throws in this game. They didn't. They shot 72% in this game. They left points on the foul line. And those points ultimately hurt the Pelicans because it wasn't much else for you to be dominating them by 22 points in the first half, then come out and score 31 and finish the game. I mean, they let us down big time in this one, man. And then the questions at the end of the game about, this, that, and the third, and him saying that, he was good with the effort. What effort is this dude talking about, man? This dude is just it's not coherent. What you're talking about, good with an effort. There's nothing good about you losing this game when you was up by 22 and scoring 31 points for the entire second half of the game. There's nothing good about that. I don't understand what this guy is talking about. He's good with the effort. I wouldn't even say I'm good with anything about this game because if the defense was really what it was, it wouldn't have allowed some of this stuff to happen from LaMelo. Because they went on a run in the second half and took the game away from the Pelicans. The Pelicans just lost their balls. That's why I say it's time for us to kind of, the major part about making all these trades and moving all these pieces around. The big part of the team is that they need to find a head coach with an identity and discipline, not one that sits up here and congratulates a team and loss and then doesn't understand that congratulating the Pelicans and losses is not translating into wins. It's not. It just comes across as incredibly undisciplined, stupid, and back ass. That's what I'm getting from it. Because it's not helping you win games to sit up here and give them compliments when you get not handled in matchups. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, maybe it does to y'all. Does it? Does it make any sense to you guys for the Pelicans to be up by 22 and then literally collapse in the second half and lose and score 31 points in the second half collectively? This is another way why the leadership is wanting. And we just need to clear these bum ass coaches out of here, man. We need a staff that's serious about making people do what they're supposed to do, developing our players correctly, having a full offensive system, not something free flowing. How you have a free flowing system for people that's not disciplined? Guys just jacking up shots. They're not even circulating the ball properly. It's just one thing after the other. But anyway, in this matchup, the Pelicans shot 39% from the field, 33 of 84, 11 of 34 for downtown for 32%, 18 of 25 from the foul line for 72%. The Hornets were 34 of 85 for 40%, 12 of 50 for 24%, and they hit 22 of 27 for 80%, 81% from the foul line. Those foul shots, they matter. The Pelicans barely lost this one, but in the end, it seemed like it was close, but they couldn't do anything in the second half, not correctly. And then, of course, you see the rebounding edge. Almost 60 rebound effort by the Hornets tonight, and 34 rebounds by the Pelicans. It's almost a 60-point effort. They almost doubled the Pelicans' rebound total. They went in hustling. 13 offensive boards and 46 defensive by the Hornets. Crazy work. Pelicans 23-16 on assist game, 9-3 on the steals game, and 4-3 on the blocks. They did get those. Then they had a single-digit 8 turnover affair. And that's the thing that you lose in this, because people will look past the fact that you only had 8 turnovers in which you surrendered 11 points off, but turned the Hornets over with 17 turnovers and scored 22 points, but still lose by 7. Single digit turnovers. That gets lost in the fact that you lose in these games stupidly. 16 to 10 on the fast break points advantage. Pelicans, they even dominated and beat them in points in the paint 42-32. And like I said, they were up by 22 points, and then they weren't up anymore. And a lot of this is due to the coaching. I mean, you can talk about the players all you want, but a lot of times you look at some of these games, you can see the coaching is a major issue, man. It really is. And what I mean coaching is this guy's inability to motivate these people to play offense and defense properly. And this is just not going to work. It's just not going to work. Trey Murphy led the way tonight, 27 points in 37 minutes. He was 10 of 20 from the field. Good to see him kind of coming out of that little slump he had. 3 of 8 from downtown. He was perfect from the foul line, had a rebound and 4 assists. Behind that, 16 from DQ with 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals for him in the matchup in 31 minutes. You see 14 from Zion in 31 minutes. Zion had 14 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 of 13 for Zion. There were plays in the game where Zion was facing walls of defenders. I mean, there was literally a play where he was surrounded by 3 bigs, and then he tried to go between them. I'm like, this guy, I guess if he ever consistently pull up and just take the damn jump shot. Pull up and take the jump shot, bro. Take the jump shot. It's like if he takes a jump shot, he gonna go to hell. Somebody tell him, hey, you take that damn jump shot, I'm taking you to hell. I mean, because he refuses to do it. He would rather try to power through 3 defenders with their arms up. And one of them, he knocked them down. And it's like, dude, just pull up and take the damn mid-range shot. You see Derek Queen take mid-range shots. You see several of the players take mid-range shots. Where's your mid-range shot that you consistently need to rely? He has no confidence. And just pull up and take the damn shot, man. Pull up. Just pull up. Just do it. 12 from Herb in 36 minutes, 4 of 7 from the field. Herb hit 4 of 9 from the field, 4 of 7 from downtown, 4 3-pointers by Herb. 12.7 boards for Herb in the starting lineup in 36 minutes of action. Sadiq Bey he struggled in this one after several games where he was just on point. In this one, he had an 8-point game in 35 minutes. He was terrible in this one. 2 of 12 from the field, 1 of 6 from downtown. Hit his foul shots, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. But really no pointage from him. And the Pelicans really got nothing from the bench, right? Nothing from the bench. Nothing going on with the bench at all. Once again, Peavy is held out. Jordan Poole, could it be Peavy's involved in trade? Because we could have used whatever he had. They ran a 4-man bench. 2 bigs, Jose Alvarado and Jeremiah Fears. Fears struggled horribly in this game. Jose Alvarado struggled horribly in this game. He played 30 minutes and only produced 3 points. He was ghastly, awful in this one. 1 of 7 from the field. He hit 1 3-pointer, had 3 assists, +2. And playing 30 minutes off the bench and producing only 3 points is not good, man. They had zero. The bench production really didn't help us. Karlo Mekovic played 14 minutes. He had 2 points, 2 assists. Eves had 4 points and 1 board in 11 minutes. And Jeremiah Fierce in 15 minutes scored 9 points, 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from downtown. He had a couple of free throws. So Fierce gave 9 points off the bench, but no offensive production off the bench. And the Pelicans kind of needed that. But if you see the DMPs on the screen, fam, you can see it's rumored that Kevon Looney, Jordan Poole obviously is in it. Him and Jordan Hawkins, Poole, Hawkins, and Looney are all kind of tied to them. That the Pelicans are attempted to move these guys. And then Peavy, his DMP today was really interesting because Peavy really wanted to see him do something as well. Could he be in trade rumors? Now, I haven't heard anything saying that Peavy's in trade rumors, but it's interesting that his production, we could have used him against the Hornets. And of course, you look at what's going on with the Hornets themselves. You can see 24 from LaMelo Ball, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He was plus 24 in 30 minutes. The lead the way, 17 from Con Knuppel. He was 4 of 12 from downtown to help his squad. 16 from Brandon Miller, who he was 7 of 21, 2 of 12. He kind of struggled, but did hit some shots when it counted. 8 boards, 4 assists. He was plus 7. So a lot of hustling on both sides by this Pacer team, powering through to get that 7th straight win. And of course, you heard what Borrego talked about with Diabate coming in. 28 minutes, Diabate came up in there and had 9 rebounds in the game. He was out there hustling, picking up things. Miles Bridges, just 9 points, kind of human effort, but the bench was really rocking for them. Grant Williams came in 20 minutes and gave him 16 points. He hit 2 3-pointers and snatched 9 rebounds to go along with it. So 16 and 9 off the bench from Grant Williams. Ryan Kalbrenner came in. He had 10.7 boards in 18 minutes. Colin Saxon played 12 minutes, gave him 5 points. So you can see the bench for the Hornets really kind of stepped up and kind of did their thing against this team. So, of course, the season series right there to even it off, the Pelicans did beat this team 116 and 112 last year in November, early November, and now they kind of even the series up at 1 apiece there. So that's some of the stuff to kind of talk about in terms of the Hornets matchup. Was very kind of somber watching this game and seeing how it all fell apart for the Hornets, for the Pelicans. But in the end, man, what can I tell you, man? This team just, I don't know, man. It's just, they can't seem to do anything consistently. And it starts up top in terms of my opinion with the coach. He can't inspire these teams to play correct ball. And it just sucks. All right, anyway, man, let's get into the preview for the next matchup against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Pelicans are currently on a 2-game losing streak to the Bucks right now. Now, this is a team that's missing maybe 3 of their top 4 scorers for them. We know that for the Pelicans, you'll see guys like it'll be a game time decision. We know Giannis is going to be out until February the 20th with that calf issue. Kevin Porter Jr., who is the second leading scorer, he has an oblique issue. He won't be back until February the 6th, according to reports. Gary and Bobby Portis is a game time decision. We'll see if he'll be available. He is a game time decision with a hip issue. So 3 of the 4 the Milwaukee Buck players are currently dealing with injuries. And of course, we know, they are a team that, we have lost to in the past, but that's because of Giannis. Giannis is out. This should mean the Pelicans should get back on the right side of things against a team in Milwaukee that is 18 and 29. They're 9 and 12 at home, by the way, so they're a lot better at home than they are on the road. The Pelicans are now 13 and 39 and 5 and 20 away, which is disastrous. So anyway, just to mention some of those players, man, that we talked about. And you can see for yourself some of the statistics that's currently on screen that shows that the Milwaukee Bucks average 11.1 points while giving up 115.6, 27 and 15 respectively. The Pelicans at 114 and 120.6, which is 22nd and 28th. You look at the field goal percentage there, 48% that the Bucks shoot. Pelicans at 46%. The rebound advantage goes to the Pelicans, averaging 44 rebounds a game versus 40.6 by the Bucks, the assist game, 26 plus by the Milwaukee Bucks versus 25 by the Pelicans. The block game is 4.7 or 5 versus 4 by the Bucks. The steal game, Pelicans 9 to 7.6. The Bucks are currently on a 6-game losing streak. They've lost to a ton of teams: OKC, Denver, Philly, Washington, and Boston. As of recent, on the first, they lost. So Pelicans over the last 5 are 2-3. The Bucks are 0-5 and currently on the 6-game slide, man. So they are not the worst team, however, in the Eastern Conference. In the Central, rather, it is the Indiana Pacers. They're still 17 and a half games back of catching up with Detroit, which that probably won't happen. We know the Bucks are more than likely headed for the lottery, but still in all, the Pelicans will get that opportunity for the first time against this Milwaukee Bucks team. The next time that you'll see them will be on the 20th of this month to close out the series. So shouldn't the Pelicans be able to take care of business against this team and handle it? Even the matchup indicator have the Pelicans winning this game against the Milwaukee Bucks. And like I said, man, I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about whether or not they can do it. But like I said, there's a lot of the offensive firepower for this team is out due to injury. You know, a lot of these guys are missing. Like we talk about, Giannis is out in the game. He's there. They're everything. He's on the trade table right now. Kevin Porter Jr. is banged up. He's the second leading scorer. And of course, Ryan Hollins, a guard that they had, a second-round draft pick guard, has really been a bright spot for the Milwaukee Bucks. He's averaging 16 and a half through 42 starts for them, almost 5 rebounds, and he dishes about 5.5 assists per contest, almost at 1.6 on a steal, almost 2 steals per contest as well. So Ryan Hollins is balling. He averages almost 32 minutes a contest for him, so he's sucking up a lot of big minutes for him. So Giannis, Porter, and Bobby Portis, all of the, some of the top scorers for him that could be possibly. I know Giannis and Porter is going to be out. We'll see with Bobby Portis where he'll be in connection to that. Of course, Miles Turner's there, averaging 13 and 5 for them, and Kyle Kuzma is 13 and 5 as well. So Turner's 5.5. But yeah, these are a couple of the guys that we'll see in the matchup here against the team. And can the Pelicans take care of business against this Milwaukee team in Milwaukee to kind of help things keep going and twisting and turning, man? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they can take care of business. But if they're going to handle the business, if they're going to win the contest, there's some things the Pelicans have to do. So here's my 5 keys to victory for a win against the Bucks. They don't have any Giannis. There's no Porter Jr. You might have Portis back for this matchup, depending. It's a be a game time decision. But, their guys, they play through Ryan Hollins. Ryan Hollins is really balling right now. So we have to kind of, pay attention to him. He just recently had a really good game, put up 24 points and 8 assists. They got to pressure the young guards to kind of disrupt the playmaking, right? The Pelicans have to do that, attack the undersized front court. So without Giannis being there, you have Miles Turner and possibly Bobby Portis as the primary bigs with Zion. None of them guys can do anything with Zion. So, you have to leverage his strength and try to dominate the interior. And remember, Milwaukee ranks 29th in rebounding, and they had some losses because of the significant rim protection that they're lacking because Giannis is not there. So that is a point of contention too. By the Pelicans have to, put pressure on Turner and Portis, who will be coming off injury. They got to exploit the defensive transitions, and Milwaukee's defensive ratings, like I said, has dropped significantly with those big players out. The Pelicans have to push the pace and prevent the Bucks from setting up the defense. They got to look at guys like Kyle Kuzma and AJ Green, who's starting at the 2 guard in mismatch situations. We got to take advantage of some of these things. They got to win the bench battle, right? The Pelicans' depth is something that we have to watch out for. We talked about it in the previous matchup. It would have been nice if we'd have got more production off the bench. We know Jeremiah gave us 9. Jose Alvarado was just 3 points. We need more bench production scoring. Micah did not play in this matchup. I don't know what's going on with that. We know Jordan Poole is also being dangled along with Kayvon Looney, Jordan Hawkins. So our bench right now is really kind of lacking, man. So it'll be interesting to see how this all goes, man, moving forward. So, and of course, forced perimeter mistakes without their primarily ball handles. The Bucks have to move, that ball movement approach that they have that leads to passing up open shots and late heaves. So the Pelicans should play aggressively on the perimeter to force turnovers, which should turn over into easy, fast break opportunities for the squad. So, like I said, we have to pay attention to that, man, and ultimately, Pelicans got to handle business and get on the plus side of it. Now, I will pick the Pelicans to win this game. That's right. I'm gonna pick the Pels to beat the Milwaukee Bucks simply because I think that they should get back on the plus side of this. I think the Pelicans, after a disastrous matchup against the Hornets, I think that the Pelicans bounce back with a win against the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee. Right? This has been a horrible road trip, just to be honest with y'all, man. This has been a disastrous road trip for the Pelicans. And they're currently on a 2-game losing streak right now. And we'll see, because the next couple of games, I think Milwaukee they'll beat Milwaukee, but they started the road loss against Philly. Now they lose to Charlotte. I think they'll beat Milwaukee, and then they'll have a Friday matchup against Minnesota. They lose that one. And then the following week, they have Sacramento, Miami, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and Golden State all in the Smoothie King Center between Monday, February the 9th, all the way to Tuesday, February the 24th. So they'll spend a great bulk of the rest of the remaining time in the Smoothie King Center during the carnival season. So can they stand on business at home against Sacramento, Miami, Milwaukee? It's yet to be determined, man. The next matchup against Minnesota will be after the trade deadline. So there are stuff that we'll be paying attention to that we don't know who will be traded, when they'll be traded, how will it go? Man, we don't know how it's going to go. But, man, let me kind of share something with y'all, man, that's really interesting as well that we've seen here for the Pelicans. Now, this is just reported, fam. Now, we talking about this move right here that's happening right here. Pay attention to this one, fam. Look at this move right here. What the Grizzlies are doing. The Grizzlies trade Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Jazz in a 7-player deal. This is a massive trade. The Grizzlies are trading star forward Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Utah Jazz as a part of a 7-player trade, according to Shams. Memphis will receive Walter Clayton Jr., the fantastic rookie point guard from Florida, Kyle Anderson, Tyler Hendricks, George Niang, and 3 first-round draft picks. Wow. The Jazz acquired Jock Landale and Vince Williams Jr. in the deal, which was completed 2 days before Thursday's trade deadline. So once again, Jaren Jackson Jr. is headed to Utah. Also, Jock Landale, who's a really good backup big, and hustle player Vince Williams in the deal. And what do they surrender? They get Walter Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, George Niang, and 3 first-round picks. That's crazy work. So Jackson, 26, and 2-time All-Star, and was the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year in 22-23, has 3 years remaining on a 5-year, $205 million deal that includes a play option for 29-30. He joins a rebuilding Jazz team that includes third-year guard Keontae George, who's terrific. Ace Bailey's there, and fourth-year center Walter Kessler. So where's that leave Lauri Markkanen? Lauri Markkanen is on the trade lot, so that makes him an open candidate. By them picking up and get Jaren Jackson Jr., that means that's the end of Lauri Markkanen. So we'll see how that handles. But Jazz star forward Lauri Markkanen, the NBA's 8th leading scorer this season, is widely speculated as a trade candidate, could potentially team with Jackson as a formidable front duo in Utah. Is that what they're looking at? That's a lot of money. Jackson is averaging 19.2 with 6 rebounds and a block and a half in 45 games this season, and who entered Tuesday just 3 games behind Portland in the 10th spot in the Western Conference. The trade also signals a full rebuild for the Grizzlies, who now have 13 future first-round picks, the most in the NBA. The Grizzlies are also created a massive, almost $29 million trade exception in this deal, the largest ever in the NBA, according to Bobby Marks. So this is a huge trade for the team. So this is the latest on some of the moves. Jaren Jackson Jr., the former Grizzly, is headed to Utah as the Grizzlies say, you know what? This is it. This also lets us know if Jaren Jackson Jr. is out, Ja Morant more than likely will be packaged in the deal and moved out too. I don't see them trading Jaren. Jaren was there more than Ja, with them just wiping the slate clean and deciding to do something totally different in Grizzly land. Boy, what a big move there. So yeah, and this is just more stuff to talk about in trade talks that are happening currently. Draymond Green is in active trade talks with teams. His general manager Mike Dunleavy is trying to work on a framework to get Giannis to Golden State, and they're serious about this. We talked about this is a massive trade, and it's probably one of the biggest trades we've seen in a while. Them moving Jaren Jackson to Utah, that's huge right there. There's also the discussion about Harden. Harden requested to be traded. That's in the works as well. And looking at it, so it's a bunch of stuff. These are massive moves going on right now. Are the New Orleans Pelicans going to be involved in some of these moves, man? Yet to be determined, man, as we move forward. There's also a tipping point where the Pelicans did reach out, according to reporters, reached out to the Clippers about Harden and what they want for Harden. What is this type of thing? And of course, Harden, rumors saying that Harden did not want to come to New Orleans. And I'm not mad at him. Not too many people want to come to New Orleans because New Orleans doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They still, they don't have a real coach. They got bum ass leadership down. Not Joe Dumas per se, but can't blame Joe for what happened with this team based on the fact that you had Gail Benson refusing to let him fire his bum ass Willie Green earlier. And we got trapped with him, and it basically destroyed the season. When Borrego took over the team, he still couldn't get him to respond in kind and get and handling business and get right. So it's just one of the situations that we continue to deal with. But yeah, we do not want Harden down here. But obviously, you can see what they're trying to find a floor general to kind of situate the Pelicans' offense. The thing is, the Pelicans need an offense before you can find a point guard to situate them. This free-flowing nonsense is stupid. This not disciplined. Guys are not playing. If they can't switch properly, have that IQ stuff set defensively speaking, and they have a free-flowing offense, this team is a team that lacks defense. I mean, discipline, which is tied to the defense, but they lack that defensively and offensively, where they don't circulate the ball consistently, but the ball gets stuck. Certain players just jacking up shots. I mean, it's just what kind of offense do these people run? I mean, their offense is a joke, man. That, like I said again, they do not play through the stars. It's supposed to be priority. The discipline kicks in and shows, okay, this guy's priority. The second guy's priority. Who's the priority in the Pelicans offense? You know, who's the priority? They don't play through Zion, the team's highest paid player. They don't play through him. They don't play through Trey Murphy consistently. They don't play through anybody consistently. That's why it's difficult to win. Some congruent teams are people that have some synergy and chemistry. They play through their best players consistently. When the game is on the line, they play through them. They run plays. I don't see that with the Pelicans. They don't have that type of temperament. And besides, this is a report right here, just kind of handed to you guys here. Grizzlies sending Ja Morant to New Orleans for Poole is completely false. This is from Guillory. He says the Pelicans aren't likely to pursue Morant since they view Jeremiah as the long-term option. Still, Poole and Murray are both considered potential trade candidates. There is a sense that New Orleans would like to move at least one of them. Guillory notes he also hears that Clutch Points reported on Wednesday that Murray and his representation may prefer a change of scenery. So they're out working on a deal as well. There's no shortage of suitors for Pelican guard Jose Alvarado, adding that Spurs to the list of teams with interest, but sources familiar with Alvarado's thinking have conveyed that the 27-year-old would prefer to remain in New Orleans. Right, both the Pelicans and Jordan Hawkins will be open to the possibility of finding the former lottery pick a new home. Guillory reports Hawkins is playing a career low 14 minutes off the bench and is averaging 4.3 points per game. The Pelicans are big believers in two-way player Bryce McGowan, who would like to make room on a 15-man roster to promote him to a multi-standard contract. This club currently has a full roster, but could open up a spot as a result of the deadline moves. Are they really on Bryce McGowan's, or is Borrego's guy? Because I don't care what Borrego talking about. At the end of the year, his ass is going to be gone anyway. So the Pelicans, however, man, we have to do a better job of finding. Man, we have to find better talent here, man. We really do, man. And just in the terms of the coaching, man. We have to be able to do that, man. We have to find better coaching for these people, man. Because, even though we moving these players in and out of the lineups, man, I can only imagine what it would be like if we actually had coaching that knew what to do with these people, that had a congruent, fail-safe system, so to speak, that they all can be bought into. and a pecking order of players and role players and a standard bench, starting level 5 and a standard bench, as opposed to this guy. This guy don't know this team. I mean, he's switching lineups here. He don't know this team. He still hasn't found a lineup that works for him. And it's just, you're not going to find any chemistry that way, just switching up, doing this type of stuff. And it's just, there's no consistent ball handler there. We're going to start off, we're going to try to make sure Jeremiah Fears, we're going to make sure with a 13-win season right now, why not just stick with Fears? I know he's a rookie, but you might as well stick with Fears. I mean, you're sticking with these other guys. You know, you're sticking with Queen. Why not stick with Fears? He's a top pick in the draft. Develop him. What else could you get out of a 13-win season? I mean, so far 13 wins and you're dropping games like this. You know, so like I said, man, we'll see what's going on here, man, because we know the guys that are not playing are obviously they're obviously on the trade block, and we see, like, based on the last matchup, when we watched what happened with the Pelicans, and they said Poole, and you heard what Borrego lied about it and said that he can, if he felt like he needed Poole, he could pull him off the bench. That's bullshit. That was a lie. No, Poole, you know damn well Poole is not playing. You know Poole is on the trade block. Why lie about that? Because if that was the case, we could have used Poole's production last night. We could have used him in the previous matchup. The Pelicans do not have enough scoring off the bench to kind of balance things when the starter. So the pressure is on the front 5 to score. And that's just a problem. That's just an issue. So anyway, I got you guys all caught up on the latest stuff that's happening. The Grizzlies saying, hey, man, let's just do this. Let's just move all these guys out of the way. That is a huge move by them to trade Jaren Jackson Jr. I'm going to tell you, I was not ready for that. I thought that, man, I literally thought that it was Ja Morant who they were looking at, you know, doing that with. I did not think it would be Jaren Jackson Jr. But what it does do is Ja Morant, man, that puts him on notice. If Jaren Jackson's gone, then you know Ja Morant is out of there as well. Man, this is getting interesting, man. But anyway, with that, man, that's all I got for y'all on this episode of the show. Y'all do me a service, and please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about some of these moves that's being made, man, as we get ready for the Milwaukee Bucks coming up to on Wednesday. It's going to be interesting no matter how you slice it, man, with the Pelicans over the next month and some change. About they don't have any lottery. I know they're trying to secure, trying to dangle players for picks to try to get back into it. We know Jose wants to stay, but listen, at the end of the day, man, the Pelicans' key issue to me, and this going on right now in this season, is just basically we don't have much of a coaching staff at all to motivate these players. It's too much inconsistency. It's too much up and downness. It's too many games that's passed for the Pelicans to be this confused about basketball. I'm tired of it and I'm sick of it now. And it's time for Borrego and his entire staff to go. These guys do not have it. They've been here longer than what they're supposed to be. And it's time for us to clean this out. I don't understand how in the NBA, how bad teams, these people, these coaches get fired out of here, but the Pelicans holding on to people. It's time to let these people go, man. It's time to cut these guys loose. So we got a couple of months of basketball left, and we need to clean house and get these coaches out of here and find somebody credible enough to make sure we get this team headed and turned in the right direction, man. That's what it comes down to. Anyway, that's all I got, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the trades, and I'm going to holler at you on the next one. Much love, peace, and go Pels.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell him that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Yeah, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat. I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Swish, post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never. Say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelican scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with thewhodatdaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit thewhodatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.